As y'all can see, I'm a little tired. Just moving a whole bunch of stuff. David, what's up? Let's talk football, baby. See if I can get Sean up in here. We getting ready to talk some football. Y'all know y'all saw an exciting weekend of football. Super excited. Let's see if I can get my boy. We're going to be talking some football today. I know y'all saw an interesting weekend of football. Some sad stuff happened. People. Tagging some people up in here. Hey, we're getting ready to start. I know y'all want to talk about an interesting week of football that we just had. My God, it was a crazy weekend. Actually spent it up in Philly. So I'm excited to get you guys up on here today. See if I can get Sean up in here. Well, in the meantime, I'm trying to get my boy Sean. He'll be tuning in a minute, but you know we got to talk some football. So I'm going to just go ahead and get right at it. Adding my boy. What's up, Joseph? What's up, man? Tennessee looking good. Oh, there we go. There we go. There he is.
Hey,
David? What's up? What's up? What's up? Now, if you don't know, man, my man David, one of our show's producers, we're getting ready to talk about something on the first topic. Let's go ahead and get it started. I'm Janae Struther. My boy Sean Spencer is coming up right after this. But, of course, we had to get to a sensitive topic, which is Dak Prescott, the number one topic of the weekend. Me and David are Cowboys fans, and unfortunately, our quarterback is now officially out for the season. It leaves a bitter taste in my mouth, huh, David?
it does. It really does. You never want to see it happen to anybody, especially your own team. I know I've always been highly critical of the man, but it really hurt to watch him go down. But can we say what a credit it is to his legacy in the league so far?
Yes.
Watching the responses of not only his team, but you have two very tenured head coaches in this league, been around for a long time, coming off opposite sidelines to stand over that man.
Just you to be next to him.
I swear, every single player from the Cowboys sideline walked out, and the man sat there with a towel in his mouth, kept the tears out of his eyes, and rallied his troops and told all of them, like, keep going, keep playing. And the second
you gotta win this
away, he completely broke down.
Oh, man. But
he's a leader. I will give him that. I will. He is a leader of men, and my heart definitely goes out to him. And his future is definitely up in the air right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you see this playing out?
Man, I kind of am encouraged. Now, don't get me wrong. The kind of I believe it was a dislocation on top of a fracture to the ankle bone. So it is a serious injury. But the kind of character and the kind of guy that Dak is, yes, he's able to overcome adversity no matter what. If you don't know, the man has lost his mother during a college championship. The man lost his brother this past offseason while negotiating the contract of his lifetime. He has been through a lot. And I just feel like the type of player that he is, I'm hoping that this is a Alex Smith situation. If anybody didn't know, that Alex Smith, basically his leg fell off during the game too. And yesterday he played for the first time after, I believe it was 2 years. First time in 2 years he's played. People counted him out. People said it was over. And he got on that field yesterday. So it made me feel like even though the Dak is in this situation now, it's not over. Now, I don't know if it's over with the Cowboys. I can't go ahead and predict the future. I hope not, but I don't think it's over. I think that Dak will work hard. They said it's going to be a 4 to 6 month recovery time. which will put around the time frame of, I think, like April. So that gives them enough time for next year to either talk about the second year of franchising or whatever. But it was horrible. It was horrible. I don't, and just like you said, I mean, there was like 25,000 fans in there, and the complete stadium was quiet. Nobody said anything. It was horrible. I mean, everybody in there was literally hurt by what happened. You felt it. You saw the play. And I think they only did a replay one time, so people aren't really seeing the replay of how close it was. Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. But I'm hoping that it's going to be another situation where he can bounce back, come back better than ever, like a Cam Newton, change the game. I'm just hoping. I'm hoping for the best. But that being said, it was a very smart decision for the Cowboys on the offseason to make that smart decision with get Andy Dalton. Now, I'm not saying that Andy Dalton is some, freaking, he's going to win the Super Bowl, but he's good enough to get us close. He's good enough to get us close. He's been to the playoffs a few times. He has not won the playoffs, but he's gotten there. And I think that if we just stick with that, I think we should be all right. I mean, Nick Foles didn't win anything before he came in and after Wentz got hurt, and then he won a Super Bowl. So it's not out of the question. But with our division, I mean, anybody's up in the air. I mean, I'm not saying the Cowboys are going to be great, but anybody's up in the air in our division. NFC East is still the NFC East. Right now, we only have 2 wins, and we're in first place. So, I mean, it sucks for Dak. It sucks, that whole situation. But I am encouraged on the offseason pick that we did get Andy Dalton. At least there's somebody who's not like a rookie getting in there, not really seasoned. And look, at the very end of the game, I mean, Andy Dalton did what he needed to do to get us in position to kick that last field goal. So it's not really a horrible situation with Andy Dalton. So I'm encouraged. I actually am encouraged.
For the first time in the last, however long this has been with his contract negotiations, feels like years. I want to see that contract done now. I want Jerry Jones and I want Dak to both meet at a good number. I want Absolutely. That man under contract. I want his family taken care of. I want him taken care of. I want the organization to recognize what he's done and the effort and the leadership that he's given to the organization. I want that locked up now. I don't want him to have to go through this recovery wondering about his future.
Absolutely.
Hope Jerry Jones does the right thing. That said, I completely agree about Andy Dalton. And whereas I wanted to see Dalton on the field, I wanted to see how that worked. I didn't want it this way. But I think that Dalton coming in will actually give us exactly what I was asking for last time I was on the show. Dak made a few early mistakes in this game.
That consistency. I know what you're talking about.
They were not running the ball. And then after that pick six, all this, we're down 14-3. And I don't know who or how or why, but they finally made the right decision and they started pounding the ball with Zeke.
Give it to Zeke.
We got back to our identity, right? I believe that with Dalton under center, that's what we will be all year.
We'll be forced to do it. We'll be forced to do it. Feed the man. Feed the man.
Exactly. And with Tony Pollard behind him, I loved the committee that we ran yesterday. In the first half, I don't think Zeke ever carried the ball more than 3 times without them putting Pollard in. They're Absolutely. Not going to overwork him. Our offensive line is banged up. Him and Pollard, I mean, he's going to get the main carries, but Pollard is a very capable back.
Absolutely.
And
remember when Jerry Jones, when Zeke wasn't really doing good at first, and he was like, Zeke who? He was saying it for a reason because Pollard was putting in that work.
Hey, Zeke yesterday, I haven't seen him run that hard in a while. I will say that.
For number 4 for the rest of the season.
The ball, and he started looking good. But after Dak went down, they tried to pass on the very first play after Dak left the game, and Dalton got sacked. I was like, why did we not run the ball right there? And now we're, now third and long, I believe it was, and they give it to Zeke.
And he plows through everybody. He plows through everybody.
he knew that he had to carry things at that point. And that's our identity. It should be our identity. We should be a running team with the weapons we have behind whoever we put under center. Because whoever is under center is always going to have, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb. Oh my goodness, that man took over that game.
The kid is balling.
He took over that game for the wide receiving corps. He looked amazing.
Gallup was showing up. Gallup started showing up.
And now we got this kid, Wilcox, who all of a sudden Dak fell in love with this kid and targeted him. I think it was like 6 times.
6 times
before Amari Cooper got his first target in the game. I do think we'll be okay. I honestly think that we'll make less mistakes as a football team getting back to the running game. I think Dalton will be sufficient. I think with the receiving weapons that he has, I don't see him going out there and trying to be Superman. I see him limiting mistakes, take care of the football, control the clock. I don't see. I mean, our defense looked great after we went down 14-3. I think we held them to 4 or 5 field goals in a row.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about the defense.
They started showing up. They started to show up. Now, hey, I know all the people listening is getting ready to say something like, oh, it was the Giants. We know who it was. We know, but I'm just saying, and I agree with David, that we're starting the defense in that game. It was starting to make some progress. I mean, I was feeling good about what our defense was doing. Yes, it is the Giants. Our problem, we all know, is our defense. So we got to get them better, even if it was the Giants. I mean, we're number 31. I think the Giants are 32. I think they're last in the league as far as numbers. But
you can. This will be a good segue. I know that you and Sean have some things to talk about with divisional games today. So divisional games can go either way. Look at the Seahawks during their Super Bowl
all
years,
the time. Absolutely.
and the Rams. The Rams were terrible, yet the Rams would beat the Seahawks every year. Divisional games are no joke. And
absolutely,
take into account who is their offensive coordinator.
Thank you.
He probably knows the Dallas Cowboys better than
anybody
coach in the league.
Absolutely.
So, and look at the trick plays that man pulled out. Wish he was doing that when he was in Dallas, but they pulled out every stop.
I said the same thing.
That man went so deep into his bag of tricks and his playbook because he wanted that win. He wanted that bad. The organization wanted bad. So our defense against, the lowly Giants yesterday, in my opinion, that was amazing to watch because the Giants played us this year. So, hats off to the defense for doing a little bit.
They showed up. They showed up when we needed them to. The thing is, like you said, they were on that final drive, Danny Jones, and we got that stop. Shout out to Jalen Smith, man. He's been balling out. He balled out yesterday. And DeMarcus Lawrence finally got a sack. Finally.
Daniel Jones was running for his life all game. All game, that man was 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage and sprinting to the sideline away from 2 to 3 defenders. So, the pass rush came to play. The secondary is still just very the miscues, the miscommunications. It's
but we're working on it. And if we could take this from now. So before I get off with you, David, I got to ask this question. Do you feel that if Andy Dalton shows off this year?
No, I think I already know what you're going to say. No.
Get this
because I told you last week, Dak is not the new Romo. Dak isn't going to lose his job
I'm just putting it out there. Is Dak going to lose his job if Andy Dalton does his job? Because it seems like that's the reoccurring theme, when you do your job. I mean, it didn't happen to Drew Brees last year when Bridgewater was lights out because Bridgewater won like 8 games in a row. As soon as Drew Brees is better, he came right back in. I'm just hoping that Dak is better when he gets better in this next offseason. There's not a conversation of Andy Dalton or Dak Prescott. I'm just hoping that's not a conversation.
I think we're in a good position either way. I think the only way that Dalton keeps the starting job is if Dak doesn't sign with us.
Sean, shut up. He's not coming to Washington. No way, no how. We're not going to let it happen. We're not going to let it happen, Sean. So get out of there, because when I get you on this call, I don't want to hear that.
You know what I would be scared of, though? I'm scared of Belichick. If we can't get this done, I could see Dak going to New England. And I don't want to see it. I want to see Dak stay.
Absolutely.
I want to see him play better. I want to see the game plan be more in favor of Dak's strengths and not his weaknesses. But no, I like I said, I want to see this contract get done, and I want it done now. I want his future solidified, and we'll see. That's going to be on him and Jerry, though. So
man, I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping, but I'm glad I got you on this thing, David, because I needed a cowboy to feel my pain for a second, to understand my cry and my tears, and to just be a little worried. I am a little worried, but like you said, we got Andy Dalton. Our next couple games, we got the Cardinals coming up on Monday Night Football. We got the Eagles, the Redskins.
We got a couple divisional games coming,
and I think we got one more that's going to be harder than Cardinals, Giants, Eagles.
I can't remember.
Somebody else. But we got a couple hard games coming up, but we got to win at least two of those.
We've got one guaranteed win, though. I mean, we're going to play Washington, so.
I like how
Speaking of Washington,
we're going to play Washington.
I love you guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, absolutely, David. Anytime. We love your expertise, man. Thank you so much, my man.
Oh, of course. All
right, man. We'll see you later. So, you guys already know David. Hey, I'm going to try to catch up with some of these comments, but I'm going to add my boy Sean up in here. We love David. He always comes and brings us all the valuable information. Let me skip all that stuff that Sean was talking about. We adding Sean in here right now. Amen to that. I hope Jones recovers for Dak with a contract. Absolutely, he needs to. He's not coming to Washington. Your boy Dak is gone. Billy! Don't you even say that, Billy. How dare you? Dak is not gone. I don't think Dak will be back without a guaranteed contract. He deserves that contract, ladies and gentlemen. I think Jerry not making the deal, and now this happening put a bad taste in Dak's mouth. You know what? We're definitely gonna say that. Hold on, wait. I'm putting Sean in here now. Hold on. See if I can get him in. Can't bring Sean. Okay, let me do this. Let me bring Sean in here. All right. So I do agree with that comment, Billy, because decision is going to be made for Dak not to come back to Dallas. It is going to be Dak's decision. Definitely going to be Dak Prescott's decision not to come back. It won't be the Cowboys making that decision. It will be Dak's decision if he doesn't come back. And you're right. I do think there's a salty taste in his mouth because they did not treat my boy good. He should have got – this is the main reason why people go get contracts, ladies and gentlemen. You talk about him bad. Oh, well, he's not worth this and he's not doing this. Man, in 4 games, he has done more than anybody in the history of the league, history of the NFL, the stats that Dak Prescott was putting up. Besides all that, he's been doing better than the guys that hadn't gotten paid. And so I was watching Stephen A. and Max Kellerman. They were doing their thing today, and it really got me boiled up because I understood what Stephen A. was saying. I understand what Stephen A. was saying. He basically should have been paid. Tony Romo would have gotten paid by now. At the time Tony Romo got his biggest contract, he was 32 years old. At that time, he only had one playoff win. 32 years old, catch the age, 32 years old, one playoff win, same situation, couldn't break over the hump, but he had played plenty of years before this happened, right? No question in Jerry's mind whether he was going to sign my boy. No question whether he was going to sign my boy at all. So Tony Romo can get the contract. and Dak Prescott can't. It just doesn't make any sense. Tony Romo did nothing that Dak didn't do, and with being inconsistent, with being, don't get me wrong, I am a Tony Romo fanatic. When Dak took over for Tony, I was upset. Sean, I'm trying to get you in here. It says I'm adding you, but it's saying you're not answering. I'm trying to get you up in here, buddy.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
I'm just saying, it kind of making me a little upset because, this misconception of, Tony Romo paid by now. Problem. My boy TR became the highest paid quarterback with none of the stuff that Dak Prescott was doing. Dak Prescott was out here balling all the years. He took Tony Romo's position, and in that time, you weren't confident like you were confident in Tony Romo. It just kind of makes you wonder, what is your criteria, Jerry, of confidence?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. How many times did Tony Romo get hurt, and you still gave him the fat contract?
Oh, exactly. Let me speak on it right quick. And I see that my mom just talked about it. I watched the game with my mom, and Janae, I'm not gonna lie to you. You know how deeply hated the Cowboys are to me. Me and my mom almost cried.
Oh,
like
horrible.
we saw that ankle, and when we saw how it turned, it was. I don't want that. See,
heartbreaking.
It's
the same feeling that we felt when Alex Smith got hurt.
Right.
Same feeling. You don't want it. It doesn't matter what team you support. At the end of the day, we're all human beings. Nobody wants anybody to get hurt that way. And my God, that was just like when Alex Smith was down on the ground, when his leg was basically off, and we're watching that live TV. Same thing happens to McCoy.
Yeah.
It happens. We're not saying it doesn't happen, but we're all human, and these things hurt. That hurt to watch my boy on the ground literally try to push it back in. Did you see him holding it? Trying to push it in?
Yeah. And you know what? And the crazy part about that was, as a man, you have a lot of respect for him, because you saw him like, look, this ain't going to happen. They are literally going to have to cart him off the field, which is what they did, where he was kind of sitting here like, no, I'm going to figure out a way to make – and the crazy part about it –
back in probably.
Right. The crazy part about it is my mom and me said exactly at the same time, if there was any way that Dak can get on the field, it did not matter if he only had a leg. He would have got on that field. And for that, I have the utmost respect for Dak Prescott. And look, never do that. No, exactly. Hey, you know what? Real quick, I'm in Chicago. We're around town. I had to take care of some business. Look, as Chicago, hey, we definitely going to talk about that for a little bit later. But I and first of all, so thankful, Dave, lifesaver. I appreciate you.
He's the man.
Yo, I'm telling you, man, that's what I'm talking about. And at one point, we'll get all three of us on here and get it going. I love that. But you guys hit at a point about the contract. And I see Dave and Anton are talking. You turned down $30 million and this and that. I get that.
He should have got no. I wanted to comment on that, because the $30 million should have been offered when Wentz and Goff got $30 million. Come on now. At that time when they got paid, Dak was better than them with what they were doing. So if you're going to offer him a $35 or $33 million deal, that should have been given to him 2 years ago. He played and he only was making $600,000. Come on. This man was not paid at all for the last 4 years. Think about all the stuff that he's done. Gotten to the playoffs 3 times. What else could you do? What else could you do? And $33 million, $35 million, I don't care who you are. He did better than that. And if you're going to not pay him when Wentz and Goff got paid, don't come with me with that number. I waited 2 more years. So now pay me what the league is worth now, not compared to what it was 2 years ago. Because if you would have offered me 33, 34 2 years ago when I was in my rookie contract, I would have took it. But don't sit there and tell me, ladies and gentlemen, you guys work your 9 to 5s. If you're okay, are you okay with somebody doing the job that you do but making more than you? No.
Yep.
Okay with your coworker making more than what you do but do the same job? No.
Exactly.
Don't expect my boy to do it. Don't
And
because
see,
it's 33 million
I
that he's got to take it?
Yeah, I gotta fight for you on that one. I gotta defend you on that one to these comments because I agree. Because the thing about it is, Washington saw this. Washington went through this 2 years in a row. We did Kirk like that with 2 franchise tags, and he was by far the best player on our team for those years. Okay, there comes a point where I don't care if Dak has gotten them to the playoffs. Dak got them an Aaron Rodgers drive away from the NFC Championship. So you got to give him his due. And the thing about it, and everybody's going to get on him for his performance. I understand that. He did. He was the reason why you were down. But anybody that throws for 1,600 yards in 4 games.
4 games.
Look, he didn't roll over and play dead at any point. He sat there and continued to fight. I'll take Dak. And I know, hey, all my Washington fans, I know how y'all feel. Oh my God, I can't believe you said that. No, I will take him because you know what? And I'm gonna tell you how you know the type of player that he is. Not only did the entire Dallas team come over to him, but the entire some of the Giants came over to him. The Giants came over, and that's a division rival. That's respect.
And I'm not even saying that, David. I'm not talking about highest paid. I didn't say that he has to get 45 like Mahomes. I didn't even say he needs to get a guaranteed 40 like Deshaun Watson. Give my boy 38.
The money.
Respect my man. Respect him.
Yeah.
You guys are talking about 33, 35 with 109 guaranteed. Freaking Tony Romo got 108 guaranteed. That's not nothing. And we're arguing about 4 or 5 years. Come on. Yeah, my boy is young. He want to make sure by the time he's done, either y'all going to continue to treat him right, because in my mind, I'm thinking he didn't even know if Dallas was really going to treat him right for the whole 5 years. So I only want to do 4. Let me see how you treat me, because the last 4 I gave you, you ain't treat me good.
The second
you
life
treat me good the last 4. I gave you 4. You ain't treat me good in 4 years. I only want a 4-year deal just so I can see how you respect me.
Hold on.
That extra year is important.
Hey, look, my fiance sister made a comment. Can you say that? The second who will do better?
The second wife will do better.
Dak.
Trophy wife is giving it all.
Right. When Dak goes to the second team, whoever it is, they're going to pay him money.
And
Bottom line is
the price that we paid. That's the price.
Right.
That's the risk that we take.
Look, this is the bottom line. I get it, Dave. He does not deserve number 1 money. I'm not going to give him that. He definitely deserves top 10 money. And I see what you said, top 7. That's fine. Think about the NFC East alone. Daniel Jones, Carson, I can't stay on the field, Wentz, and whatever we have in Washington. I'm sorry. You got to pay the man.
My boys only missed 1 game in that. 1 game. Actually, I don't even think he missed the game. I think he got hurt during the game, got a concussion, out for like 2 plays, and was back in. And I think they were talking about at one point he had hurt his shoulder or something during the game. And then we was like, oh, was he going to play the next game? He was out there the next game. Consistency, durability. He does not. But if you're telling me that him asking for $40 million, the same as Deshaun and D. Watts ain't done nothing either. D. Watts has done nothing either.
0-5.
So you can tell me that my boy, who's at least got to the playoffs majority of his tenure,
right?
How does he not deserve the $40 million that D. Watts got?
And see, and this is the problem I think we have. Okay, is we couple him with the NFC East. We see the Giants, the Eagles, and Washington, and we say, oh, the NFC East isn't bad or isn't good, so Dak is not good.
You got it. Yes.
We are
Sean, let me ask you a couple questions. Did Stafford get paid?
Yep.
Doing nothing. Did Jay Cutler get paid? Doing nothing. Oh, I'm preaching today, baby.
Yo,
I'm preaching. Did Matt Ryan get paid? Doing nothing.
Yeah.
They didn't win no Super Bowls, but they got paid.
They all got paid.
It's the NFC East thing, that you hit it right on the money. They want Dak And every year they raise the bar. And it's like, what else can the man do? He's got to win a Super Bowl in order for you guys to want him to get paid.
Yeah.
But it's not fair
Yeah.
because none of those other people. Tony Romo,
Right.
did he collect a check with doing nothing? Yes. Tony
Well,
Romo became the highest paid quarterback doing absolutely nothing.
Right. But and so going on my point, that's the thing. Because Christina just said something. Like you said, Stafford got paid. But when you look at that division, you have Aaron Rodgers, who is by far at the mountaintop.
Yes.
So anything less than that, they're going to pay him. Dak is by far the mountaintop in the NFC East. There's nobody else in the NFC East.
Nobody else.
So they're not going to pay him like that. And it's terrible. But the other part about it is, I hate to say this because I know you like him, your owner. Just like in Washington, your owner.
Absolutely.
Pennies.
I'm already there. And you already saw my tweet from off season. I put on Facebook. It's the first year that I was debating on, I don't even want to support my team this year because they've been pissing me off. I am so sick of Jerry and the decisions. He needs to go ahead, but it's never going to happen. We talk about this topic so many times that Jerry needs to go ahead, but I'm just so sick and tired of people making the argument about my boy Dak. And D. Watt just got paid. Sean, let me ask you, what has Deshaun Watson done? What has Watson done?
Exactly. And you know what? That's it. But it's key. And Dave just said something. He needs weapons to be successful. Can't afford them if you pay him $40 million. All right. You paid him what?
You got 4 years of free CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is free.
You got free CD. Amari's getting paid.
Amari's getting paid per season, $20 million. Okay. But how do you do that? How do you go and pay everybody else but my man? You went and paid Lawrence, and he ain't done nothing since you paid him. Matter of fact, Ezekiel Elliott ain't done nothing since you paid him. Yeah. The only consistent thing that you have not paid has been doing good.
And I don't get it.
Down by 15 every game. Dak Prescott is the only reason why we've won any game that we've won.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, if Watson's going to get paid, you cannot look at Watson and say, oh, well, then Dak Prescott should not get paid. They've done the same things in the league. All these people are collecting a check, and it starts at the top. So the captain of the team, the quarterback of the team needs to be paid. That's it.
Yeah. And you gotta understand, okay? And this is for everybody that's going against this, okay? Dak came, first of all, he came and took over Tony's team because Tony was hurt. And he knew nothing and came right off the bench and did what he had to do. He got Zeke and he did good. But still, those years, who did he have receiver? Before he got Amari, before he got CD, Dez.
And let's not forget, we got the Amari halfway through the season.
Right. Dez was on his way out, remember? And they couldn't get together. He had Jason Witten, but Jason Witten was getting slow. All I'm saying to you guys is this. Dak was your team for a couple years. Even when you had Zeke. Zeke, remember, he had that 6-game suspension he had to fill. Dak still held it down. Absolutely. When the NFC East was decent at that particular point. So, look, I understand they offered him something. He wanted something else. Yes, he deserves it. At this particular, he is the starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm sorry.
And you treat him like he is you treat him like he's somebody else. You treat him like he's anybody. David, I got you. He is not a Mahomes. He should not be in the 45 mil caliber. Yeah. Trust me, I'm on that. But if you let D. Watt get that contract of 40 mil, you can't tell me that Dak isn't at least worth 38, 39, 40 mil. You can't tell me that. If D. Watt get it and he ain't done nothing, and when I say nothing, all caps, nothing, you can't tell me that he don't deserve it. Now, if Watson would have taken 37, 38 mil, then we got a conversation. But you put him at a 40 mil caliber, no. Don't tell me Dak Prescott's not there with him.
No. And I'm gonna go one step further with you, and then we got to go on because we got this stuff. But look, Deshaun Watson had DeAndre Hopkins. That's it. You see what he's doing now. Nothing. He doesn't have DeAndre. You give DeAndre Hopkins or something like a Julio or somebody like that to Dak, and don't tell me Amari Cooper because it took him a year and a half to get right in Dallas. You give him a number one. Hey.
You already know when Murray's turn is coming, Murray's going to get paid.
Oh, yeah.
Murray's got people. He's got Fitzgerald. I mean, he's got a team. I mean, Murray has got he's got Hopkins. What?
Yeah, exactly. So actually, you know what? We're gonna bring up a topic that we talked about last week. David, I'm glad you brought up Bill O'Brien. So Jared brought up a topic, and so y'all didn't see the show. Definitely listen to the podcast. The show is on YouTube. Jared and David came on earlier. They both were on the show last week.
They were.
Yo, it was a great show. Definitely
Thank you guys so much. Great show.
Thank you. Yo, so Jared brought up something a week ago towards the end of the episode that I definitely wanted to bring up. And it was just what we talked about DeAndre Hopkins. If you have, how big is it to have a number one receiver? If you have a number one receiver, is that the difference between how good a quarterback is and how bad he is? You look at Aaron Rodgers and you look at Tom Brady, and they're not a good example. They can play with anybody. But you got a Cam who my brother was telling me came in when Steve Smith was there, and he was a great receiver. You have Big Ben, who had Hines Ward when he started, and then he had Antonio Brown. Right. You look at a lot of these star quarterbacks that are doing well. Think about Kyler Murray. First, he had Larry Fitzgerald. This year, he has Larry Fitz and DeAndre Hopkins. How big is that? Because we talked about last week, Drew Brees, when he didn't have Michael Thomas, he looked subpar. Is that a huge deal? Like,
I think so. I think you got to have a dynamic receiver. And because we're mentioning, Cooper, since Cooper's gotten the contract, what has he done?
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
That's the thing.
I understand the point of you giving the money and then, it all goes to hell. I understand that. But Dak Prescott has been your consistent cheap player for so long. You can expect that man not to feel like he's worth it. He's worth it.
Yep. Exactly.
And you have to work on time. If I be your poster boy, if I do what I'm supposed to do, if I'm Jerry's pet, I'm perfect. And then you sit there and tell me that I'm not perfect. What else do you need me to do?
Right. Exactly. And see, that's the thing. Okay.
Yeah. Look, Tom Brady had Edelman and Gronk.
Exactly. And even people are going to sit here and say, oh, well, Edelman didn't get that good till the beginning. Edelman was a legit player.
Absolutely.
Edelman was legit. And Gronk is a Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
Come on. Look, I understand people can do it without. The elite that we were talking about last week, they can do it. Tom Brady, you stick him wherever, and his name will carry him. Everybody else will surround him, okay? Mike Evans is the first big-name guy that Tom has had. I mean, we could say Edelman. What up, Jeff? We could say Edelman, but honestly, who else has he had? Who else has Tom Brady had? Troy Brown?
Godwin's hurt.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. He finally now has a star. Aaron Rodgers, maybe Devontae Adams. Maybe he had a couple seasons, Randall Cobb a couple years ago. But Aaron Rodgers, you don't need those star players. We got to stop paying people dependent on the KCs, the Tampa Bay, the Tom Brady's, the Aaron Rodgers, things like that. We got to pay people on what they're getting the job. He's getting the job done. I hate to go back to it, but you got to pay people for what it's worth, right? You have to.
The last time Aaron Rodgers went to the Super Bowl.
Well, see, that's the thing. They say Aaron, Big Ben, those guys, they went to the Super Bowl. So give them the money.
Last time that they've been to the Super Bowl. They can still collecting checks. Are they still getting contracts?
Was that 2010? Right.
So we're still living in this era of what have you done lately? When have you got me to the Super Bowl? Right. When has anybody gotten to the Super Bowl? It's basically been the Patriots have been there, like you said.
Right.
Tom Brady's played 20 years, 9 appearances
right.
So not everybody has had an opportunity to get there, but they have contracts.
Right. We're right. And you can't pay people on where you think they're going to go. Like, okay, I get the contracts if the guy won the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes, yes. He deserves a contract. 2 great years, yes. Tom Brady, give him a
Yes.
contract. You do those things. And Tom took a cut. He took a cut. You have to pay the guy, not on the weapons upon his team, but with what he's doing. That was the problem with Kirk in Washington. They paid Kirk. Kirk had Pierre Garçon and Deshaun Watson, okay? And then what they do, they took both of them out. One went to San Francisco, and the other went to Tampa Bay. And then they tagged him because he was offering money because 2 or 3 years in a row he got over 4,000 yards with our offense. So no, you will not sit here and have this discussion about, well, Dak needs to do this, and I get it. Listen, in this league right now that these guys are playing in,
it's what have you done for me yesterday? Not even what did you do for me last season? What did you do for me last week? Because you got to keep riding off of what they're doing right now.
Right. I get it. Look, I get it. If at the beginning of the year you're like, okay, we're going to pay him this. But after the first 4 weeks, after his totals,
even the 3 weeks after he made history in 3 weeks, and then got to 4 weeks and did it again.
Right. I can't. Look, it's hurting.
What else can he do? And the thing is, I saw, David, you said Coop bombed out last year. Yes, Coop bombed out last year. I'm talking about once he got the money, what has he done?
Right.
Because he just got the money. So he just got his first 20 mil. What has he done? Nothing. No. I think the new kid, whatever, Wilcox, whatever we talked about, he got targeted 6 times before Cooper. You're right. It's just like, come on. We need to pay the man. And like you said, now we're in this position of just being super freaking sad because now we have a quarterback who is hurt, in the hospital, now worrying about his future, about his team, if he's still wanted by his team.
Yep.
We wouldn't even have that conversation had he got his contract.
And look, and you know what? You know what the crazy thing? And the first thing I told my mom, when we watched it, the first thing I said to her was I looked at him on the field, and they panned over to Jerry Jones, and I sat there and said to my mom, I said, if that was Tony Romo, he would have already been on the elevator downstairs. I said, the fact that it's Dak, and it's not a color thing or anything like that. He just does not value Dak like he valued Tony. Even though Dak came in and did everything he needed to do, he doesn't value him.
Yes.
He doesn't.
And it doesn't make any sense to me because if you had that much confidence in TR, which I did too, I loved him. Yeah. But if you want to talk about what have you done for me lately, at least this new guy has done stuff for you. Got me used into the playoffs faithfully.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I get it.
It just hurts.
Well, yo,
we got to move on. We got to move on. I know we got to move on.
We got to move on. Yo, we were talking about one of those quarterbacks that definitely gets paid wherever he goes. He does his thing. Most of us consider him the greatest of all time. But he had a trip to Chicago this past week, and Janae, he didn't look too great.
Oh, I believe, man, if you play 20 years in the game, it's so hard for me to fathom you not knowing it's 4th down.
Right.
4th down.
Hold up. Y'all saying let's pay the man, but he don't know that it's 4th down. He don't know what's going on in the field. He's a superstar, the 9 Super Bowl guy.
Oh yeah. And then Bruce Arians, I am shocked at you, Bruce. I am shocked at you, Bruce, that you're gonna get on television and lie for your man. Oh, he knew what down it was. No, he didn't.
He knew.
He may have been saying, "Oh, it's been 4 months since I've been on the team," or "It's been 4 meals that I'm missing," or something. But no, he was talking about I didn't know it was 4th down, ladies and gentlemen. 20-year veteran.
Christina. Oh, okay. And that's the thing. Everybody went into that game thinking it was going to be this kind of blowout. But I'm going to tell you something, okay? There's a group of folks here in the Midwest that they weren't surprised. How does Chicago feel about Tom Brady falling? The Michigan guy falling to the Chicago Bears. How did you guys take it?
Okay, well, I feel kind of bad because I'm normally watching football, but it was a late night game.
It
But
was
for
a late night
everyone
game.
who did watch it, it was like a magical moment. And like the bars were full at like the 20%, but like everyone was like 80s Bears. Like, this is the fridge. Like, yeah, the man went down, go down. It was like a happy, it could have been like a Super Bowl, like Prince type thing. Like, you gotta understand, like, it was like all my feed is that.
Well,
And then I'm getting messages.
Well,
even
Cat,
from
don't let them hype you up. That really wasn't how it went down. They weren't the 80s Bears. Trust me. They definitely were not the 80s Bears.
Well, look,
But they got the job done.
We got 3 wins in three or four in a row. That's
You're
huge
looking-
here. You know,
you're
we're
looking-
excited.
That's
Well,
it.
look,
We drink. I mean, we have shirts that said we drink because Cutler sucks. You know, we find a reason to drink and watch football no matter what here.
well, look.
My best gay, who knows nothing about football, found me a 90s started Bears coat, and I was gonna wear it today.
Yes.
Oh.
She's rocking the cubbies. She's rocking
And,
the cubbies.
and he's all like, I like that. He likes to go because the guys are cute watching football. Oh gosh, I love this. And this is his whole take on it. He's like, "What's that horsey team?" I'm like, "That's the Broncos."
Yo, no, all right. Let me ask you this one more question.
Yeah.
So, all right, over the summer they had what the thing for 6, the Michael Jordan the last dance. Was this the biggest thing? I mean, I know the Cubbies didn't go, didn't win.
Don't listen.
Yeah, we're not going. Okay, sorry. Is this the biggest thing to happen in Chicago since
Oh,
that the '90s, the last dance?
Nah, well, I mean, the Bears fans are fickle fucks.
Yo, fickle freaks, fickle freaks.
Yeah. I was at the championship game when Cutler hurt himself 3 rows from the end zones. And people were burning his jersey outside the stadium.
In the
It was,
stadium.
yeah. And they
So
were
you
trying
guys
to
feel good about Foles being in? You guys feel good about Foles?
Well, I'm a Michigan State Spartan right here. So, you know, I like my Foles. Oh, Lord.
Yes, Chicago is.
God,
all
I
about
know you have to go to bed really confident because she really loves her Michigan men, okay? She loves her Michigan men. Kirk
Hey,
Cousins and Foles.
Right.
You got some competition, man. You got some competition, Sean.
So look, yo, while I have her, okay. So I know you didn't watch that game last night, but I was on the phone for you through a little bit of it. Kirk looked really good. Janae, did you see that?
Oh, honey, you know what I love about the Vikings is my friend. We got to get Patrick Gibson on here. He is in charge of the Vikings bar in Chicago. And there are some cute former NFL players who bought me drinks, and life is good. I wear purple.
Kirk did a good job. Hey, Kirk Cousins did a great job. Kirk Cousins showed off yesterday. I thought he was going to win the game.
No.
But in Russ we trust. You can never leave no time on the board for Russ.
Oh,
You can never leave.
He had it. Yeah. So Kirk brought it down. He scored, and it looked good. But that other quarterback for the other team, they had too much time on the clock.
Well, no, not even too much time. Sean, what was that, 45 seconds? Was that 45 seconds they had left?
But it was Russell Wilson. It's Russell. I can't.
Vikings bar.
Right.
The purple people would have been sad, and my drinks wouldn't have been free.
There you go. There you go. Hey, live from Chicago, baby. It's
Man,
Saturday night.
Man, that was a great game, though. That was a great game last night.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. I love that because both of those games, the Vikings game and Chicago, both of them were great games, and it really showed. Show up. You don't know. We all thought Tom Brady was going to show up that first game, but in that first game, he looked like he did against the Bears this last time. He looked like maybe he knew what he was. As a star receiver, he has anything.
There we go.
Nah, all right, bet.
Bam.
Somebody got disconnected. Okay, as I'm here, I think it's me because we're going.
I can see you now. It was a little blurry before, but now I can see you. We're good.
All right, bet.
So you were talking about Kirk Cousins and him wanting to get paid.
So but this is my thing, and this is why I think there's hope for Dak. What up, Noah? Hey, Noah, happy birthday, man!
Happy birthday!
This is my thing. Kirk he got franchise tag 2 years.
Twice.
Each of those 2 years, he had over 3,500 passing yards. The first year he had at least 2, I would say, all-pro receivers.
Yep.
Pierre Garçon in that time and Deshaun when he still was decent, okay? That following year, with Reed got hurt, he had nobody. He had no help whatsoever.
No help
And
at
they
all.
franchise tagged him again. All right? We did him dirty, yes, but he collected. What happened? 84 mil guaranteed in Minnesota. You know what I mean? And what did he really do to get that? And see, that's why I'm thinking you got to – it depends on where you go. That's why I think – and I think that was a key part that Christina said is that the second wife gets more. The second gets better. The next team that he goes to is going to value everything that he's done. They're going to –
He did his thing last night. I mean, even last night, he was playing against the MVP. He competed with the MVP.
Right.
He went down, did his job. No, I mean, of course, the world thought that in Russ we trust. I mean, with that amount of time, he can do whatever in that amount of time.
Right.
He can do it all.
Right.
But if you want to look at Kirk Cousins and what he's done, that game right there can show you that he can keep up with the best of them.
Exactly.
No matter what you want to say about Kirk Cousins, he can compete with the best of them. And there's not even – I mean, you'd be crazy if you didn't think that he could have won that game last night.
Right. And see, that's the thing. But so that's one of my points, Janae. He had to go to Minnesota. He had to get done dirty in Washington. We replaced him for a guy that literally broke his leg and was without a leg for about a year and a half, who just played yesterday, incidentally. Yep. We're going to talk about that crap. All right. You know, he sat there and he got done dirty. Minnesota picked up on him. One person's trash is another person's treasure. Absolutely. Minnesota is reaping the benefits. Now, they haven't had everything that they expected. They thought he was a missing piece and they were going to go to the Super Bowl. It didn't happen. But still, he's worth every penny of the money, I believe. If you're going to give a Kirk Cousins that, you have to also give a Dak Prescott that, and anybody else that can get. This is the part that really messes with me. Dak, even when they were down, they're down to Atlanta, and Atlanta might be the key point, even though we can't really use them right now. Atlanta, the Rams, any of them. You got to think 2 of those games were a call away from being different.
True.
You know what I mean? Like
True.
Dak has done everything that they've asked of him. And this is the biggest thing about him. He did wrong first. So he had an opportunity. Everybody saw, we're going to get on you because you did so terrible. Look what you did. And then all of a sudden, what happened? That tells you it's not how you start the fight. What did I always used to say? The race is not given to the swift, nor the battle to the strong.
That's it.
But the he or she that endures through. Dak, he did everything he needed to do.
He's been enduring. I mean, come on. Game after game. Yes, he has had some fumbles. You can't even be mad at the fumbles. The offensive line has been trash.
Right. You can't. It's and honestly, I'm not gonna lie. These quarterbacks in this league, especially with how much emphasis we put on the starting quarterback in this league, you have got to treat him the way you would, forgive me, but your first wife, your main thing. You have to treat him like that, because if you really push them aside, they will find love elsewhere. Not to keep with the analogy, but I mean,
it's true. It's true.
It is absolutely true. And I understand. Dak came
I'd be sick if Dak Prescott left and went to the Redskins.
Right, but that's the thing. But that's the thing. But they're building him up for that. I hate to say that, but they took advantage of the fact that they had him on a rookie contract. They took advantage of anything he did wrong. It doesn't matter that he went 14-2. It doesn't matter that Aaron Rodgers threw an amazing pass to get them in field goal range, and then Crosby hit like a game-winning, career-long kick. It doesn't matter any of those things, because what the thing was, Dak took them and had them in the lead. Dak, it is the same exact situation as last night. You cannot sit here and just judge a guy on his victories. You can't. You have to judge them on what they do when you ask them when you need them. You know, Dak can't control the refs in the Rams game. Dak can't control if the guys drop the pass or if the other team runs and scores. Dak can only do what he can do. And that's where all these quarterbacks, we got to give them all the same kind of attention. I'm telling you. Because this is awful. And with that, Janae, do you mind if I talk about my boys?
Go ahead and talk about your boys, baby. Go ahead and talk about your boys.
I gotta tell you, okay.
Hey, Jeremy wants to get in here too. He just called.
All right, bet. Let me ask him. Tell me he come in now if he can get in there.
Hey, you want to come in now, Jeremy? I just saw you hit the request button.
You want me to get out?
Hey, what's up, Jeremy?
Yo, Jay, I got a
All
problem.
right, go. Kick the issue, man. Kick the issue. Let's go.
The issue is our season is over. Jay, you know what? I think I'm going to be a Washington fan.
No, don't say it. Don't say it.
Listen, that was the big announcement from last week that I wanted to come in here and tell you because I felt in my spirit that something was going to happen to my Cowboys.
Come on, don't do it. Don't do it with me today. Come on, man.
The prophecy was fulfilled, and it sucks, man. But you know what? We just got to pray.
We got to pray. We got to stay prayed up.
We got to pray. I don't know what happened. You know what? My uncle Sean, I have to say, I might be wearing a hat like his. I don't know.
Jeremy, don't take the foot off of the ledge right now. I'm trying to talk you down. It's going to be okay.
I'm telling you, it's really windy up here, and I think I might just tip over.
Don't do it.
It might go down.
Don't do it. I need you to hold on, brother, just a little while longer. Hold on just a little while.
I'm telling you, somebody needs to call Jerry's phone, that little flip phone he got, and call him and tell him that Colin needs a job.
I got you. Look. I got you. Now look.
All right, so call him now. It's not looking good.
It's not looking good, ladies and gentlemen. I know as Cowboy fans, we want to take that leap off the ledge and just say, forget it, we are done. But look, we can't do it. Jeremy, we got to stay prayed up. We got to hold on to God's unchanging hand.
I don't know what's happening. Listen, two things happened last night. Like, my basketball team won a championship, but I lose my quarterback? How does that happen?
I don't understand. Congratulations to you.
Where was Kobe at? Oh, yo, thank you very much. Thank you. Come on, somebody.
Congratulations.
Come on. Pastor LeBron spoke a word last night. Yes, he did.
Hey, are you willing to say right here that LeBron is the greatest of all time? Let's go ahead and say it.
No, hold on. I will not say that. I will not say those words. I will not.
You
the greatest is no longer with us anymore. No. Bill Russell is the greatest of all time.
There we go. Come on now. Come on, Bill Russell. Let's go.
Bill Russell. He got more rings than anybody on the planet.
Let's go.
You see, that's who I'm going to claim. But they're not talking about him. But you know what? Listen, I just want to come on here, show some love to y'all. I love what y'all doing. Continue to do what you're doing.
Love you too, Jeremy. Don't take that foot off the ledge, though, baby. Give us a couple weeks.
Jay, a couple weeks.
I'm gonna make some calls. Our division is still the same division, Jeremy. It's still the same division. Don't give up.
Call Jerry right now.
I got you. As soon as I'm done with the podcast,
right,
I'm gonna call him. He's gonna flip up the phone, and we're gonna talk.
But wait, he might not have no service with that flip phone. I don't know. We gotta get him some. He got all his money and still got a flip phone. We gotta talk to him about that too.
Jeremy, we're gonna make it happen. Don't give up. You can't be a Redskins fan yet. Calm down, all you Redskins fans. He's not stepping off the ledge yet. I gotta
I'm
work some
just
magic.
saying,
Gotta work some magic.
it's real windy up here. I might fall.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm on my way, Jeremy. I'm on my way.
All right, thank you. That's what I like to hear. All right, I'm gonna try one more time.
Got my boy Jeremy willing to step off the ledge.
Yes. Yes. You see what it is?
No. You know what? Hang up. Call me back because you're still black, and I'm glad you are black because we don't want to see you right now. Because I can feel. You know, we got a couple weeks to prove ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Rashawn, don't wipe the tears from your eyes. I'm not going to let him jump off that ledge. I'm not going to let him jump off that ledge.
Anything is possible. I've been waiting so long.
You've been waiting so long to hear those words from Jeremy's mouth. Jeremy,
come on over.
I'm not going to let him jump over the ledge. Friends, support friends. I'm not going to let you do that. I'm not going to let you do that.
Yo, in all honesty, though, you were exactly right, Janae. It's just a couple weeks. Like, we're getting really bad at, like, all of us we have a lot to talk about, and this is crazy because the NFC East is just the garbage of the league. But at the same time, like, it's just been a couple weeks.
That's it.
Even with Andy Dalton, I still don't see anybody else coming. Like, Philly, I don't believe in. You know how I feel about us, okay? And wait, hold up. Yes, Anton, you're right.
No.
GoFundMe for.
We don't need to start any GoFundMes yet. We don't need to start any. We don't need any commentators in the audience trying to get them to come over. You know, when people are down and they're at their, their moment of they're getting ready to let go, you have to tell them, hold on. Cowboy fans, hold on, baby. I see you.
Come on
I'm
over.
gonna make my pitch right now, Sean. I see you, Cowboy fans. I know you're hurt. I know that you think that it's over. But a good friend of mine called me right after the Atlanta game, and he said, I almost let go. I felt like I just couldn't take life anymore. But you know what? God held me close, and I wouldn't let go. That's what the song is. Come on now, because every time you feel like you're down and out, the Cowboys, they let you down. But you got to remember, we just got to hold on to God's unchanging hand.
Unchanging hand.
And we're coming back.
Hold up. Hi, I'm Sean Spencer, and I'm here with your Washington football team. Has your team been underachieving? Did your quarterback just get knocked out of the season? Come on over to Washington. We don't have a quarterback, but we'll take you because we love you. And that's what Washington does. We don't have a name, but you have our support.
This is just horrible, ladies and gentlemen. The show has gone awry. I don't even know. We got to come back next week because my heart is hurt. Jeremy, my heart is hurt because I know you're not the only fan out there that's willing to take that leap and go to that team. But if you're going to choose a team, my God, choose the Seahawks. At least they're winners.
Yeah.
You're going to go to the daggone Redskins. They're not in a better position than us. We got 2 wins. They got 1.
Yo, okay? And in this division, we still have like a 50% chance to win in the division. Yo, Anton, you already know what it is, man. You know how we roll, man.
I think this is so messed up, man. Y'all just don't try to make them come to the other side. You know, you got the angel and the devil on the shoulders, and I'm the angel saying don't let go, and you guys got devil on the shoulders saying come on over, baby, come on over. No, jabronis. He's not going anywhere. He ain't going anywhere.
Yo, come on over. Yo, all right, Janae. I don't even know what time. I know we've been doing a thing for a while. Yo, let's talk about tonight's games.
Yeah, let's get tonight's games in. I know we've been using this show for Dak Prescott, but trust me, Dak Prescott was mainly what everybody's been talking about. Right. And contracts and the franchise tags and just how we feel about all that. So, yes, we do apologize that took up most of the show today, but it's just a sad situation. This is why franchise tags are needed.
Yep.
Or not franchise tags, contracts. for this main reason.
Yep. And that's the thing. And honestly, I know you feel the same way. I think it was totally deserved. The fact that, I mean, we only gave him an hour show for this, but he deserves so much more.
Absolutely.
Seeing him on the field and you can see his face, that tore me up.
I can't even believe we're not even going to mention Dak Prescott's name for the rest of the season. I can't even fathom that my quarterback is out. Jeremy, I feel your pain. I am crushed. I mean, yesterday I went on a vacation to Philly for the weekend, and after that happened, I literally told everybody my whole vacation's ruined. I had the best vacation, and from Dak getting hurt, it ruined my whole vacation because I was just hurt. I'm hurt. We're never going to be able to talk Dak Prescott's name for the rest of the season. Hopefully next season, but I'm glad we took the time to talk about him for this show.
Yeah. So so for all the conversation we had, we actually didn't talk about his prognosis. So he has the doctor said he had a compound fracture.
Yes.
Okay.
And a dislocation.
So he went today.
People don't even know that his actual bone came out of his skin. So because his leg was wrapped up so much, of course you can still see the white sock, but they said when they took the sock off, his actual bone punctured through the skin.
Was it like the turkey one? Did he get to divide it?
It was bad. 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 And hey, 4 to 6 months, I put that prediction between April. So we should definitely know the deal with him by the next season, by preseason of next year.
Yeah. But and you know what? And it's crazy. And this is it. And then we got it. We got to move on. But they as a show of faith for Jerry Jones, you got to do something for him. You gotta restructure.
Yeah, David was right. You gotta make it right. And I'm not saying it doesn't have to be $40 million, but you gotta make him feel comfortable. 2 years ago. It's out the window. They've made way more money since then. And my boys had to pay for chump change for 4 years in a row. If it ain't 38, 37 million, I don't want to hear it.
Right. You gotta give him a show of faith, pay him, do something, incentivize him. Help him, something. You have to do something as a show of faith. He's giving you the first this is 5th year, the first 5 years of the contract. He's giving you the first 5 years of the
4 years for no money. You have paid him not even $1 million. Not even $1 million.
Not even 1 mil. What's that? No, I got it. Okay. Yeah. So and you got to do it. You got to pay him. But tonight's game. So
tonight's games are important, baby. Let's go.
They're very big. They're very good. So we already know. So COVID and Dak took over. COVID is taking over. Okay. So Tennessee, there was another player on the Tennessee Titans that was had tested positive.
And they shut the facility down this time, right?
So now Tennessee potentially might be having to deal with some issues from the league because Tennessee apparently held some practices like off the field.
Yeah, some players. They found out some players were getting together.
So apparently, they had a bunch of things to say, and then league was like, you can't practice outside. But apparently, so the league said you can't go to the facility, and then a couple days later they said you guys cannot be in contact. Well, in between that time, that's when Tennessee, got together and practiced.
It was already getting together, yeah.
You have to do something, okay? Like you have to do something because if they're planning on eventually getting back in 2 or 3 weeks,
they can't miss a beat. They can't miss a beat.
Right. So you have to let them do something. I get COVID. I get the whole thing. But if you're going to say, no, you can't play, you got to be quarantined for 2 weeks, fine. You need to shut them down, make them quarantined for however long, and then go from there. this nonsense where it's like, oh, well, maybe 2 or 3 players can sit out and the rest of you guys can play. Are you serious? It's inside and it's spreading. Because, okay, so first and foremost, the Tennessee game was put back to tomorrow night. Yeah, they're playing Buffalo tomorrow night. The Kansas City and Buffalo game, which I believe was Thursday, got pushed back to next week because of that.
Yep.
And what are the 2 games that are on tonight?
So Buffalo plays tonight, right?
No, they play tomorrow.
Oh no, so they play tomorrow. Buffalo and Tennessee play tomorrow.
The Chargers and the Saints.
The Chargers and the Saints play tonight.
And then I think it's San Francisco and
No, not San Francisco.
No, they are playing, but I can't think of who the other team. If you guys know, look that up. If you can look that up for us, because I'm on my phone at the moment. I know it's 2. I'm pretty sure it's 2 games tonight.
No, it's 2 games. It's 2 games.
Yeah.
I do know that you're right. LA is playing tonight. I'm trying to think who the
Denver and New England.
Denver and New England. That's it. Yeah. That's who the games are.
The Horsies. Big favorite team.
So that's huge because last we heard, Cam was supposedly tested positive. So are they starting Hoyer again like they did last week? What are they?
I think they got to start Hoyer.
But at what point do you sit there and say, all right, Cam was in the locker room or was in the facility with these guys?
Everybody.
I mean, you know what I mean? And let's not get into this whole contact tracing thing, but hey, let's figure this out, because if he was in the locker room with these guys and you're still putting guys on the field,
yeah.
Come on now. Come on.
And there's a lot of false positives.
Right.
False negatives as a thing.
A whole bunch of false positives. So at one point, do you sit there and say, maybe we need to shut something down? And maybe not the whole league, because not everybody in the league is getting it. God knows that the Washington team has been spared because our play is so horrible.
They're doing good. They're doing good.
Right. Yeah, we're doing good as far as COVID.
But I think as far as COVID. But I also think that it should be the mindset of the team. Your organization needs to have this mindset of, if we want to have this season happen, we have to literally shut down the world so we can make it happen. If not, then just opt out like the rest of the players did.
Right.
There's a lot of players that opted out. You should have opted out if you can't straddle the fence. It's either I want to be safe, I want to play the game, I want to do all 16 games, or you don't.
Right. And it's funny. So Anton put up the false positives that are scary to bring up. It's very true, because you don't know. And this is something that is so serious and so legit. Like, you have to sit here and take it seriously. So you have to take every single precaution. But in the case that it doesn't show up, in the case that it's not true and you're not positive, it's so tricky.
So hard. It's such a tricky conversation. You're right. It's so hard.
So you want them to play, and we as fans, we are somewhat selfish. We want these guys to play. You know what I mean? I can't lie. There's a part of me, and going back to Dak, there's a part of me, even my mom, we were saying, I really can't. I don't want him to bring out the cart. I want him to put his leg back together and keep playing in the game, because you want to see them. We want to watch these guys play. We care. No matter how much we get on them, we want to see them play and everything like that. But just like with last night, we don't want they're human at first. They're human first. We don't want anything to go down with it. We don't want anything that's going to happen that's going to have a long-term effect. And COVID is that type of thing where we're talking life and death.
So right. And since we're on the topic of COVID, the NFL has just passed down a rule that if you are a coach and you run up to a referee without your mask on, there's some serious consequences that are taking place. Now, one of those consequences has everybody a list scratching their head. But a consequence that was on that list is losing a draft pick.
Wow.
Losing a freaking draft pick. What if you're in the heat of the moment, you forget? But like you said, Sean, this thing is life or death. What kind of rules do you want to put on it? Do you want to put flimsy rules where people are going to forget often? Or are you going to put a bounty on it to where if you do it, off with your head?
Right. And that is,
I was talking to somebody yesterday about it, and it's just like that. Do you make a flimsy, all right, if you run up on a coach without your mask on, a referee without your mask on, slap on the wrist, and maybe $1,000 fine, do you make it a little baby, or do you go with something that fierce to put it in their mind that they need to take it serious, that they probably should not be running up on somebody with the risk of them being able to be infected by something that you don't know you have?
Right.
God.
And I think, and so David said, I think the draft picks will be for repeat offenders. Now, I don't know if you can confirm that, David. We want to know.
I would want that. Somebody maybe forgets on the first time, but second time, yeah. But there was more stuff on the list. So it's
draft picks. It was fines. It was suspensions. And then I think it was actually also a penalty. I think it was a penalty.
A 15-yard penalty.
Yeah. Unsportsmanlike. Then it's fines, suspensions, and then potential draft picks. So that's 4 things on that list. Like, fine, yes. Especially for some of these guys that don't even do it. Some of these guys that just have it around their chin.
I agree. It shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got to forfeit the game. It's crazy. But I do feel there need to be some type of crazy rules. I just don't know if I'm willing to say draft picks, or something like that, or forfeit the game. Maybe the 15-yard penalty. I'd be cool with the 15-yard, unsportsmanlike flag. I would be cool with that.
Yeah.
If you run up on a referee risking their lives because you're so angry you need to yell at their face without a mask, I'd be okay with the 15-yard penalty. I cannot say with certainty that I'm okay with a draft pick for something up of an emotional thing that you don't even know what's going to happen. People get upset and they immediately start running to the ref. And sometimes you'll forget it. This is all something that we're all learning. So I know they have to make it serious, but draft picks and forfeit the game, I feel like that's a little serious. No. I'd rather you even tell the coach they got to get out. Like they got to go back, know, they got to go back, to the locker room because they broke the rules. I'd rather that. But and that to me is like that's like the end all be all. You can get thrown out the game.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
that's huge. Yeah.
But draft pick and forfeit, I just feel like from your situation, from you doing what you do, should not affect your whole team.
Right. And see, and I agree with the forfeiture. I don't. If they have COVID and all that stuff, like Tennessee and stuff like that, and it's continually happening, something you're not doing right, forfeiture I get. But it's like you said, if you're in the heat of the game, and some of these guys, they have to take it off because they're like, look, I want everybody to know what I'm about to say to you. You know what I mean? I'm about to go in on you. But some of these guys will take it off, keep it on their chin, and then continue to go up to that ref. And I feel like the ref should be like, that's it. One warning is it. After that,
one warning. You get your warning and the serious, Anton said, let them play with 10 players for 4-down series. I like that.
I'm all about those rules. Let's try to do something where it's going to affect them in a way that they have to keep it on, no question. Regardless if it's uncomfortable, I'd rather it be uncomfortable and you still be here coaching than you sit here trying to wear it all willy-nilly and something happens. Because
I like that, David. If it goes on a numerous amount of times, if like 3 games go by and you've gotten this, like, okay, 3 games. If it happens 3 games, then you can do a forfeit.
Yeah.
All right. Something. But I just feel like because it's such a heat of the moment, like we were just talking about, anything can happen at the drop of a dime. And I feel like that first, whatever happens at first should be a lesson learned. Make them pay a fine, something. They're already getting fines. These head coaches are getting big fines for not having their mask on. And once they started putting those big $250,000 fines on it, Now you've been seeing them. Everybody's been having a mask on.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. Not everybody though.
Not everybody. But
Now
they're
some
willing to
people
take the $250,000 fine.
right. And see, the thing is, it's funny because you have the Andy Reid or the Chiefs coach who had the whole little mask clear thing. That's perfect. I can still yell. I can still say my thing.
And it
I
gets
still
fogged
have
up at the bottom, so y'all can't see what I'm talking about.
Right. So there's not like you can't figure out a way. And I get it. When you're mad and you're sitting here on the field and you're full of emotion, yes, you're going to want to pull that down and say some things like that. All I'm saying is, even if you do pull that down, if you're conscious of it and covering your mouth or doing something of that effect, come on now. But some of these coaches, it's like they're saying, some of these coaches are like, look, I'm a coach in the NFL. I'm getting paid X amount of money. Fines $500,000 or $100,000 or whatever to a coach like John Gruden, who's making $100 million every 10 years.
Like money for him.
Right. So he's like, yeah, you can have that. That's fine. You want to see my face again? Go ahead. Here, take it
but
again.
But they also got to realize that because this is such a serious situation that you are putting your players at risk.
Mm-hmm.
And Cam Newton, how are these players getting it? They have to figure out the route. If the coaches aren't wearing their mask, the coach could have gave it to them. Anything. We have to realize that these rules are set in place to try to make it safe for the players. Obviously, something in the Tennessee organization is not working. Coaches have to adapt, just like the players got to adapt. They playing in bubbles. They making sure that they're with their family only, so they can make sure that everything goes smoothly for this season.